Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Uh, this is very exciting for me. So, as you may or may not know, my channel so far has been exclusively games that I've never played before. Um, which is kind of an interesting fact because honestly, that wasn't my original intention. I had always planned to have a sort of mix of a lot of blind stuff, blind playthroughs, sure, but also playing through games that I'm already familiar with. In fact, the first series I started recording, which never ended up getting posted because the recordings didn't work out, was going to be of a game I had already played, so it was going to be a somewhat more of a guided, sort of walkthrough-esque experience. Um, this is not that game. This is not the one I was originally starting off with, but it is unlike that other game which I had only played once before, which is maybe part of why it's not ready to be recorded yet, because I'm just not as familiar with it. But this one I grew up with. I grew up with the GameCube version of the original Pikmin game. I've played it dozens of times. It's always been a favorite series of mine, and that's why I'm super excited to get the chance to actually play through it for this channel now. So I look at the options. I don't think there's really much, yeah. Obviously, I've never opened this on uh on the Switch before, so this will be a first time. Now, I don't think there's like a ton of differences between this and the original version. There are some like a few added quality of life things I know. Like I believe I can't do anything with it now, but I believe that minus and plus there, once I've actually played through a few days, it will let me go back and redo days, that sort of thing. But let's just dive right in. My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no, better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. Well, that's unfortunate. He's already feeling a bit different. I mean, whee! That's new. I don't think the camera used to. You could move it around, but not like this. Anyway. A strange thing has appeared before me. I'd barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too. Oh, what's this little sprout? The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. The sprout emits a strange light and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A. Extraordinary! When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Well, plants are living. I just you know. I guess by creature he means more like an animal and not entirely plant. Like, anyway, here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it with A, and I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to pressing X or moving while holding L as well. Yeah. The following controls appear to allow me several viewpoints. Oh my gosh. Well, there's the controls. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. Right, so I guess if I do this... Yeah, that's how you use this function. And it even shows you which direction you're pointing. It didn't used to do that. Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. Come on, little sprouts. Okay, well, that's not what I was trying to do. Gosh, imagine not having to press rapidly tap A to do this. Come on up, little guys. There we go. So strange. Okay. This first, I guess. Let's see. I don't think there's anything up these now. Okay, there are pellets. I wasn't sure if that would appear on later days or not. So day one, you can take at whatever pace you want. If you know anything about the series, you probably know that there's normally a time limit that does not apply on day one, which is more of a tutorial. Come on. Oh, the leaves are so slow. Hey, you can carry that one. Right, there wasn't another one over here. I already forgot that, and it was just over here. Gosh. Alright, now that we have a bunch of these. Pressing the wrong trigger. Okay. The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Yes, pluck sprouts. Then you can throw them. You can call them with the whistle, X to dismiss. Then you can control them, yeah. Okay. So yeah, these guys are like busy little bees, they're like little ants. They do all manner of manual labor for you. Yeah, the camera, you can do kind of a top-down view, which I generally don't prefer, but it is an option. As for this one, I don't seem to be able to use that right now. I'm moving the camera left or right, but that's pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, they won't just pick up and carry pellets. The Pikmin. Which, by the way, those flowers that have pellets, they're called pellet posies. There's like a rundown of like all the, like a roll call of all the enemies in the end credits, I believe. So I'm probably not gonna bother saying all their names, but when many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tests. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by holding A until I pick all of the Pikmin from the ground. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. Yeah, so if they're pale, that means they're not in your party and they're not actively doing anything. That they're just idling. And generally speaking, you don't really want to leave any just idling, because that just means lower efficiency. And a pretty big part of this game, I suppose. Amazing. There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin? So this game is kind of about efficiency, trying to do things, well, as efficiently or as quickly as possible. Which will obviously become a little more in-depth once we're kind of past this tutorial section, which honestly mostly just lasts this one day. The next day the game will pretty much open up and you can sort of tackle things like however you can, I guess. But yeah, these guys are gonna take this to the ship. They know to do that somehow. Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. One day since impact, I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hokitate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the keys to my survival, I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow. Yeah, so every day you get a breakdown here. You can see a little graph with that line, which just shows you the change in the populations. You can see the little circles underneath that show the time of day. Which will be more relevant later. I think it's pretty self-explanatory here. But it's just interesting stat things that you can look at. And here we have the world map. You can choose where to go. Now, just up front, there's no point in going to the impact site. You'll just be wasting a day at this point if you do that. You can also go back and recheck the voyage log. So at the end of every day, Olimar will have a little something to say. And you can just go back and reread any of those at any time by coming in here. But let's go ahead and land in the new area. My dolphin has returned to the surface along with the Pikmin's onion. Being alone on this strange planet makes me somewhat uneasy, so I shall call the Pikmin out of the onion. All I need to do is stand in the light beneath the onion and press A. Alright, so here you can choose how many Pikmin you want to take out. Or let's go ahead and take all of them out right now. If you whistle, you can call them off of the... the little stilts of the onion. So have collect this grass here. Which will be helpful in a second. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Oh, you little pests. Another intriguing discovery. A local variety of grass produces a sort of yellow nectar. When the Pikmin drink this delicacy, they instantly mature into flowers. This apparent Pikmin favorite seems to be full of nutrition. Closer observation is needed to determine the strengths and peculiarities of these flower Pikmin. Right. So, if they drink nectar, Pikmin grow into flowers, and effectively that increases their speed. That they do anything. Which basically means they do more damage over time. Oh, you weren't done yet, sorry. So they can do things like break down these gates faster, and they move faster. So you'll notice whenever I'm walking around, these guys kind of trail behind me, but the flowers do not. They can actually keep up with me. So generally speaking, you want to keep your Pikmin flowered, but the pesky thing in this game is that they'll actually kind of... Okay, no you don't. Oh, I haven't lost a Pikmin to one of these guys in ages. Gotta get used to the aiming on this. It feels a bit different to me. Okay. So we're gonna go over this way. Obviously there's a ship part here. If you can land your Pikmin squarely on the back of these guys, it just instantly kills them. Which is what I'm trying to do here. And keep failing. Why? It's the eternal fuel dynamo. It has an unlimited energy supply. I won't have to worry about saving electricity anymore. This will make my fight for survival a bit easier. How many does this take? 40. Okay. That's gonna take a bit. So another thing about flowers, nectar's not the only way to get them. If you actually leave your Pikmin in the ground for long enough, then they do eventually sprout, start growing into flowers. So obviously they start off as leaves. There's also a bud stage, which is kind of between the leaves and the flowers. It's a little bit faster than the leaves. But not as fast as the flowers. So it doesn't end up being as strong, but would probably at least not drag behind you. How many do I need? I kind of want to keep my extras here. So I can do a little bit more growing. Don't go past the... Okay, that's a spotty bulborb, I believe. Don't really want him waking that thing up. It causes a lot more troubles than those babies did. Each Pikmin you put onto something makes it go a little bit faster. Generally speaking, most things can have up to double on it. With double Pikmin carrying it. Eternal Field Dynamo. This should light things up. No more candles for me. I've now recovered 2 out of 30 parts. If I can find just 3 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Yes, if I was a speedrunner of some sort, then maybe I'd be able to actually accomplish that, but alas, I am not. And I'm gonna try to kill this guy. There's different best approachings to killing these things in every game. So you see some of my Pikmin just lost their flowers there. Oops. I need one more of you. Actually, maybe I'll leave the corpse for now. Okay. But you guys can take this. And so yeah, this 10 pellet here, I could get 20 Pikmin on it, and then it would just scooch along much faster. Now I notice this pellet posy here has a yellow pellet in it instead of a red one. That is significant. I'll probably wait to go into it a bit more in a minute. Come on, guys. There we go. Okay, it's almost done. Perfect. Okay, we want to be careful here. We want to kill the baby, but we do not want... Okay, perfect. So sometimes those babies can call and wake up the adult here, which we do not want to happen. So this is a yellow onion, as you may suspect. It creates and contains yellow Pikmin. You guys stop that. And... the color is different, but it seems to be a Pikmin nonetheless. First glance suggests this one has what, in some circles, could be considered very large ears. It looks like it may weigh less than the others. In what other ways might it be different from the red Pikmin? I must be sure to observe it closely. I can hold a Pikmin for a moment with A, then swap it for another by pressing R. Right. My clock has indicated the coming of noon. From now on, I must pay attention to the sun meter on my monitor and choose my actions accordingly, so it is best for me to review my monitor's data. Across the top are the sun meter and day display. At the bottom are my spacesuit damage meter and Pikmin gauges. From the left, these numbers reflect Pikmin under my command. Pikmin in the field and the total Pikmin, including those and onions. To adjust my monitor, I can move R to rotate the camera. Yes, 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 yes. So, we're gonna have this little guy start building up some numbers here. And while he's doing that, I'll come back and deal with you guys in a minute. This guy must have gotten stuck behind something. Alright, so there's obviously two different colors of pellets here. Whenever the color of the pellet matches the color of the Pikmin onion it goes to, generally speaking, obviously the yellow Pikmin always carry to the yellow onion, the red Pikmin always carries to the red onion. And if the color of the pellet also matches, then you get extra Pikmin from it. So like a 2 pellet will give you... or a 1 pellet will give you 2 Pikmin of the same color, or just 1. So like if a red Pikmin takes a yellow pellet into the red onion, then you end up with only 1 Pikmin from it instead of 2. And that is true for the other colors of pellets too. So you might have noticed that when the 10 pellet went in, it sprouted a lot more than 10 Pikmin. Actually not sure. So it's not double all the way. I think 1 and 5 are doubled. 10 might give you 15. I'm not sure. I'd have to check. And I was not paying that close attention. So these stone walls here, yeah, bulborbs give a lot. No matter how hard you have your Pikmin bang their heads against it, it won't do anything. The yellow Pikmin have picked up some peculiar stones. Why did they decide to grab them? This action seems to be instinctive to the yellow Pikmin. Yes, so no other Pikmin type will pick up these rocks. But just what are these strange glowing stones? Brightly glowing cracks cover them. Perhaps these cracks indicate that there's tremendous power locked away with it. This merits further research. Right, so we want our yellows to pick up these bomb rocks. And then we are, yeah, they're I already said it. They're bomb rocks. And then we want to be very careful. The glowing rocks the yellow Pikmin picked up seem to be explosive stones. Perhaps they know that these stones can be used as powerful weapons. The bomb rocks are dangerous, so I must take care when using them, but they should be able to blast the stone walls that block the pathways. I may even be able to use them against some of the wild creatures. I must be vigilant. When I throw a bomb rock carrying Pikmin and give them orders, they will toss their bomb rocks at nearby walls or obstacles. The explosive power of the bomb rocks is tremendous, so I must keep my distance. Yes, it will kill you and your Pikmin. Olimar just takes a lot of damage from it. He won't die instantly unless he's already low health, but it will instantly kill any Pikmin that are in the blast zone. This is also the only way to break down those stone gates. And those light ones generally only take 3. So with that, we can make it over here. And attempt... Please don't. Oh my gosh. Come on, guys. What are you even attacking? Okay, well, we're gonna have him take this. So yellow Pikmin carrying bomb rocks is not the only difference between the different Pikmin types. One of the ones that I don't think the game ever really brings up is that red Pikmin actually do more damage than any other color. I believe they do like 1.5 times about. No, not all of you. Get back to it. Okay. We can take that. I accidentally put myself in top-down view, it seems. Okay. So we're getting close to the end of the day here. Do you want to keep an eye on that? And the reds finish the bridge. Only 2 Pikmin can carry that. You can carry one of these. So importantly, you do not want to leave Pikmin out at the end of day. I'm gonna go ahead and plug these so they're so as Olimar alluded to before, Pikmin do not like being out at night for good reason. Any Pikmin that are left out at night will be eaten. So most of their predators evidently are nocturnal. Whimsical radar. This important part can detect the locations of the other missing ship parts. The radar will be added to my monitor, which I can press plus to view. I can scan with L or zoom with R. This will surely help me in my search for the remaining parts. I've now recovered 3 out of 30 parts. If I can find just 2 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Right. So this is your map. Before we got the radar, the stars would not have been there. Those are the other ship parts. But now we can see exactly where they are, so it's just a matter of figuring out how to get to them now. Right, so sundown. My clock is indicating the approach of sunset. Pikmin waiting beneath the dolphin and onions will probably enter the onions on their own, but if I don't call the stragglers and add them to my group, they may not be able to get back. I'm sure that the Pikmin still planet aren't safe, but I'm somewhat concerned about leaving Pikmin to fend for themselves in the darkness. Well, he said pretty much everything I wanted to. Yes, so the sprouts like these red guys over here they're completely safe. As well as anything in this base area is pretty much safe. This spot does have pretty much a... No, 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 no! I was just about to pick those! If you leave the sprouts in the ground too long, they actually cycle back into being leaves, so they'll come back up in a second here. And when they do, they will be leaves. So that's unfortunate. So if you look at your radar, you can actually see where all your Pikmin are. The green ones are the sprouts. And they do count for the total that are out. We don't need to worry about them. But if we had any red or yellow dots on the map that were not in our party, we would need to worry about that. Because... Or in the base area. Because they would get eaten. And it is sad when the Pikmin die. But it is extra sad when you just leave them behind. Our little guys just... It plays a little cutscene. Hopefully I won't ever leave any behind, so we'll never have to see it, but... Oh, I accidentally skipped that, apparently. Whoops. 2 days since impact. It appears that many of my ship's parts have landed in this region. If I can just recover the parts of my radar, I should be able to use my radar screen. How that would improve my chances. Then I'd only have to press plus to locate my parts. Yet, there seem to be many hostile life forms here. If I am attacked and my spacesuit takes damage, I must return to my ship, stand in front of it, and press A to make suit repairs. This is something I've pretty much never had to do playing this game. As I explore, I must pay attention to my suit's damage meter in the bottom left corner of the screen. There we go. Lost 4. Okay, that's embarrassing. I usually don't lose any of those guys, but it feels weird. Kind of gotta get used to the new controller, I suppose. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, we'll probably leave it off here. About 2 days per episode, I mentioned, is how things will go. So, here we are. This is our progress after 2 days.